First Watch with Sheriff Mark Daniels on KWCD Bisbee Sierra Vista. Hosted by Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
And welcome to Friday. I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
Let's start with a really fun ride-along that you got to do this week with a young school student that won you in an auction.
Yes, Avery. She won me during a competition there at Huachuca Mountain School, and so her and her dad got to ride with me yesterday. So I picked them up. We went and got her snack, and she's got her favorite show is Cops. I mean, what's that tell you? And so we went to Circle K and we got her. I said, "Get what you want. Get a drink. Get a snack." So she got Oreo cookies and milk. I mean, that's a cop diet. I think we all know that. So I was so proud of her. But we had such a good time, and she smiled from the time. When I pulled up, she was in the driveway waiting for me. She was waiting there, and I couldn't find the house, the GPS. Well, Grady, you're with me. You know what I'm saying. And so when we finally got there, her and her dad and mom were all sitting out front. This was a big excitement. So hopefully I made a positive, and we made a positive impact for law enforcement and our young kiddos there. And then I took her to school, and said goodbye to her, and she's walking down in school, but big old smile. So what a great morning.
Everybody has to look at our Facebook page just so they can see that. She is such a cutie.
She is, and her little braces, and she just and she plays soccer. I asked what sport she does, and says she plays soccer. So again, I wish her well and her family for allowing her to do that. I wish we had more of that going on in the community.
So speaking of community, you've got a lot of stuff that's been going on, and one of the really exciting things, I think, for the entire community and law enforcement and nonprofits is the groundbreaking that the Legacy Foundation did, and you were there to be part of that, and it's something that's really been very much needed in Sierra Vista and Cochise County for a long time.
Yeah, the Legacy Foundation of Southeastern Arizona did a groundbreaking for an event center for nonprofits, government. It's really cool. I think it holds 150 people, and if I say it wrong, anybody listening, I apologize, but I think it's 150 people, and it's going to be over there at El Camino Real and Wilcox, down there in the downtown center area by downtown Cochise College area, and it revitalizes that area too. But Margaret Heffern, the CEO of the Legacy Foundation, was the opening speaker, talked about it, and they turn the dirt, get it going, but they're already moving. If you go by there right now, you'll see they're moving it. That's going to be a project they've been working on for several years to get it right. And but again, a new addition to Cochise County, the community of Sierra Vista. It's going to be nice to have that, and we're lacking those kind of centers. I mean, I know we got Stacy at Greer's having the door out there, and a few other ones around town, but there's not a whole lot out there that for these event centers. So this would be nice for nonprofits that they're always struggling to find places to meet.
And last week, you were part of the Teacher of the Year program.
And I did. I got to honor and recognize our 2024 Teacher of the Year from Ash Creek School, Yvette Burkham. Burkham, I think I'm saying it right.
Bertrand, yeah.
Bertrand. Is it Bertrand?
Mm-hmm.
And so congratulations to Ash Creek School and all the leadership and teachers out there, and to Yvette. And she was so surprised. But there were 52 nominations that we recognized last Saturday night during this event, and it was well attended. All the educators from around and leadership from around the county was there, and just to have the honor to recognize that, the Educator of the Year. And a big shout out to Jackie Clay, our county school superintendent, and Cynthia, who put this together, and all her team. Nice event, well done.
And you also had Buena High School. You had the CTE Spring Advisory Meeting.
We did last night. In fact, we had the Buena High School CTA, the Career Technical Education, which is your paramedicine, your criminal justice. I sit as an advisor for the criminal justice class over there, and Commander Boutte, who just retired, he sits on that with me and some others. But yeah, just a nice event. It was, and just sitting there with the kids, and we set up what's going to be for next year. What are we missing? What do we need more for the class? And it brings the community in with the students and the advisors over there, and just put it all together. But again, nice job, Buena High School, in doing that.
You're also part of a panel for navigating the media.
Right. I got the opportunity. I was asked here about a month ago if I would sit on a panel called Navigating the Media During a Crisis. It was a national panel, and at first I'm like, oh, all right. But I tell you, it was quite the esteemed panel. Some experts within the field, Mark Albert from CBS News, now I believe it was CBS News, and now he's an expert on media, navigate media, especially during crisis. So it was really, really good, and I enjoyed it. I learned some things on it. Just being a panelist doesn't mean you have all the answers, but I learned some things on it, and it was worth the time. So thanks for the opportunity to do that.
And you also have an induction ceremony coming up for the Audie Murphy Club, and that's really a unique club, and it's interesting to be part of that. And a lot of people don't know what that is, but it's going to be a fun time.
It is. It's through the United States Army's Intelligence Center of Excellence, where they induct enlisted soldiers that have gone above and beyond. These are your exceptional soldiers in the Army that have been inducted. I think it's just Army, but maybe I'm wrong on that. But the Sergeant Audie Murphy, if you look that up, you can see the who he was and the legacy he left behind. But today at 1 o'clock up on Greeley Hall, Fort Huachuca, I'll be attending that ceremony as they induct some new members. So I'm excited to do that.
And the Sheriff's Office took part in Valor in the Desert yesterday.
Yeah, that's where Border Patrol recognizes their fallen heroes. And our Honor Guard was up there yesterday, and our staff to be part of that and support our partners in Green, Border Patrol, and the dangers they have in the job, and to recognize those fallen in the line of duty. So God bless them all.
And you have a meeting today for the American Congressional Exchange. And that's pretty interesting because it's bipartisan. You have people from different aspects and organizations that are going to be there. You're going to be there. Our county attorney's going to be there. Tell us a little bit about what that is and what you're going to be doing.
So this is something new. I got invited. It's over in Sonoria. It's a breakfast. So again, I'm going to cut this a little short this morning, my presentation here, our show here for me, at least. It's a bipartisan policy center out of Washington, D.C. to bring the political parties together and community leaders, state, local, and federal, to start working together. Now, I've been advocating for that for how long, saying we all have to work together for the good of the people we serve and all the communities in the country. But so they're bringing congressional people, both parties, all from all over the country into Sonoria for a breakfast this morning that I've been asked to attend. Brian McIntyre, County Attorney, is going to be going there, and Supervisor English from the board will be there. And then folks from around the state will be there also. But it's just bringing us together. So, again, I don't know much beyond that, but obviously I want to be there. I want to share our community back. And the more we can do this, the better off we are comes to solving the problems, not for political reasons, for people reasons, most important.
And the border continues to be headline making, and we do news media events from all over the place. But the New York Times actually caught interest in us, and they were here this week.
Yeah, did a ride along with the New York Times. They rode with my interdiction team that night, but I spent an hour or two with them, and it's interesting because they're coming from the East Coast, and to have them ride with me, and they ask the questions, and they're similar questions, but you can tell when I say things, they look at me because either they haven't heard it or they're very, very good at what they do. They're looking at it with just the deer look, the deer headlight and the deer, but it was a good interview. I'm looking forward to see what the final product looks like because they're doing a series, I believe it's along the border, talking to different community leaders along the border to get a good grasp of really what's the optic look on our southwest border. So I'm looking for the final product, see what that's going to read. But it was a good time talking to them. They're photographer and their reporter, very nice people.
And Newsweek did a part last week. So, we are gaining traction here because I think the important thing is a lot of people equate what they hear to the border to things like Eagle Pass, Texas. And this is a different dynamic, a different challenge, and our communities know that. So it's good that we are able to now branch out into a more nationwide stage. And again, non-political. We're just trying to make sure that the voices here are heard.
That's right. And one thing she asked me at the end, I think I'll just note it. She asked me, she goes, well, Sheriff, who are you going to vote for? And I made a comment to her. I said, social media has opened up our personal lives to the world. And I said, whether it's emotional, whether it's sensation, a birthday party, whatever it is, whether it's politics. And I said, one thing that I believe in is when you go vote, you walk into a booth privately. You don't walk in with a group. You vote individually. You vote privately. We have lost that. Everybody's got to tell everybody something. And but that, I said, I'm going to hold that to me. I'm going to hold that sacred of I'm voting in a booth. And and she asked me a question again, a roundabout question, and I said the same thing to her. But so they're digging. There's no doubt about it. They're digging, and everybody wants an angle. I mean, well, are you a supporter of this? You a supporter of that? No, I took a note to protect this community, and that's where I'm at. My politics has no business in newspaper.
And you're going to be busy, we collectively as a community are going to be busy tomorrow with celebrating animals in the park in Sierra Vista. And that's a really important optic that we have right now, is making sure that people understand how much we work for animals, appreciate animals, and are doing our part.
Oh, yeah, and that's a great event. In fact, I think they got more people turning out there at Veterans Park between, I believe it's 9 and 1 o'clock tomorrow, to recognize our animals, our animal control officers from around the county that do such a fantastic job. We just appreciated them last week in National Animal Control Officer Week. And so that's tomorrow, 9 to 1. But again, more people show up for that, I think, than most other events. And they love their furry friends. So, again, that's tomorrow.
And we do have some animal headlines that came out of Douglas this week.
We do. And Carol and I were talking about that before the show started this morning, how they put our patrol car on there, and people actually thought we were the ones doing that, our staff within the sheriff's office. And it was not an incident within the sheriff's office. We came in and investigated on a criminal level, but we also came in to take over the shelter in partnership with the leadership of the city of Douglas, their request on that also. But long story short is we had animal control officers working for the city of Douglas and a member of the Humane Society, very disappointing, I'll just say this, but taking cats out into the county and the ranch lands and dropping them out there. A serious lapse of judgment, serious lapse. And we put a criminal case together. We actually asked for prosecution on this. County Attorney's Office chose not to. It's in their purview to do that. Disappointing to us. And so we're still running the shelter down there, and we'll continue doing what we have to do until this is resolved. But sad situation for our little furry friends.
And so we had a request for information, and I think maybe in talking about it, it's good to get it out there to everybody. One of the stressors and things that you've seen, again, nationwide, indicates that people are able to come into your house if you go on vacation and just start living there, and you have no recourse, no legal recourse. So squatters, people are concerned that this is coming to a town near you, and whether it's one of the biggest things is I've also heard that it's tied to immigration, that illegal immigrants come and then they get in your house and then they can stay there forever. But other times it's homeless people that are able to get into the home and stay there. So talk just a moment about squatters' rights.
Well, let me say this: squatter rights. Let me just go back to the basics on this, because we're getting so deep into squatters' rights. Let's talk about people's rights, homeowner rights. If you're renting a place, whatever, when you have a legal stance to be in a home, and somebody comes in and tries to squat in there, that's called burglary. It's called trespass. And I've told many people here, and I'll say to the listeners today, if you go on vacation, I had an individual call me this week and said, Sheriff, I'm afraid to go on vacation because if I come back and there's people living there, I can't get my house back. No, you call us. You call 911. We'll get there. We'll clear your house. We'll identify who these people are. We'll put them in handcuffs. And if they can't establish why they have a legal right to be in your house, we call that burglary. We call that trespass, and they can go to jail. I don't know where, and again, I'm not going to speak on other laws, other states, but in Arizona, we have good laws that allow us to charge people for that. This ain't a landlord-tenant issue where you had an agreement for them to stay. This is right. I couldn't imagine in my 40 years that I come live in your house, Grady, while you're gone shopping, and I come back, and I'm squatting in my house now. No, you call 911 and I will go to jail. That just amazes me. So, folks, let me just say that. I don't know where the leadership in these other states are, what their laws are, but in our state is somebody squats in your house and there's no agreement, there's no legal standing for them to do that, they go to jail. Very simply put.
We had a fire near Whetstone near the Babakamuri River this week. Very
sad. And before I talk about that, my heart and prayers go out to the family. We lost a citizen in that fire. I know, Carol, you talked to the son yesterday, and those are tough tough conversations, very emotional. So thank you, Carol. But really, God bless the family on this one. It's got to be a tough time. But kudos to the public safety folks out there, the fire department, Whetstone Fire, the chief, our folks. I was listening to it. I was out there working that night when this was going on, and amazing job by everybody as we did our evacuations. Dan Deshawn from Emergency Services from Cochise County. I mean, everybody working together to protect people and prevent any other tragedies. Property can be replaced. People can't. So, again, a nice strategic approach in making sure this happened. We're getting better at it for the wrong reasons. That is because we're having too many fires.
And that leads us into our safety message of the week, which is Ready, Set, Go, because we needed it this week.
We did. Ready, Set, Go. And we're in the time right now where ready means you're ready to go. If there's a fire, and first of all, I'd encourage everybody to have defensible space and mow your grass around your house. So many houses have that grass right up to the structure, and when you do that, you're putting yourself in a bad situation. You're putting the fire department in a real risk situation trying to get that off or out before it gets to your house. So defensible space, number one. Have ready, go, be set to go, especially when you get that alert. Sign up for Cochise County Alert, the Ready, Set, Go program, and then when it says time to go, it's got to go. You got to go, because that's that last it. In fact, I heard we evacuated that night. In fact, we had to move back our law enforcement and fire line that night, and we evacuated all public safety because it jumped the river.
And there were a couple of people who refused to leave. So we've done our due diligence.
Yes.
We've told them that that's what the case is. And, in years past, an experience in Monument Fire, if people haven't left, and then at the 11th hour, they're calling and they need help, that we can't, in all reality, get our people or any public safety personnel in life-threatening harm's way to go and rescue somebody. But during the Monument Fire, we most definitely did. And we still have some of these tapes where we can hear our people, going through actual walls of flame and having their tires, melting. And so we want to make sure that people understand if they're going to make that decision, it's a conscious choice, but know that we most likely can't get back in there to save you.
That's right. And please, cooperate with us, and that's part of the Ready, Set, Go. Be ready to go. Be set. Have your essentials ready to go. And then when we escalate it to set, you really got to be ready. You really got to be ready to go. And that's an initiative by the Arizona Sheriff Association, by the way.
And before you go, what is your stop of the week?
Stop of the week. Can't make this up. Working up on 90 North this week, and I had the New York Times with me. I was in the slow lane on 90, went to pull in by the checkpoint, put my turn signal on, and this 18-wheeler behind me lights me up with a horn. Just, oh. And I had a turn signal on, legally doing everything in my sheriff's unmarked vehicle. So he just let the horn. There's a law that says you can't use your horn unless there's a purpose for your horn. But you just can't. It's called road rage when you do it that way. So I end up stopping him. I walked up, and the trucker was like, I didn't know you were a cop. Well, it's not your lucky day, is it? So we got out of the car, and we addressed some violations. But the bottom line, and he had some other violations we addressed too. Bottom line is, when you hit that horn, I get it. Somebody stalls that, and you pop the horn just to remind them. I'm not saying that's illegal. But when you just blast a horn at somebody because you can tell it's an irritated horn, we all know it. Know what you're doing and understand that is illegal. So use your horn wisely.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Take care, everybody. Have a great week.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and welcome, Steve Boyce.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for being here. So you have a lot of stuff going on.
Oh, it's called life. You
That's
live
it.
Hard.
Well, let's start with something we already touched on briefly, but you are the man with a plan.
Oh, no.
Yes. Celebrating animals tomorrow in Veterans Memorial Park. So give us the scoop.
Well, basically what it is open to the public. It's free. It goes from 9 to 1. It is started out originally by a few different people, and same thing like Mark talks about. Everybody's got to work together. And so there's some dog kennel people there. There's so much stuff. I could read a whole list, but that would drive people crazy. AKC is coming to practice their animals and competitions and stuff like that. There are so many different groups that are now getting together. They're going to have a few food trucks there. It's a great family event. We're going to have our minis there from the horse rescue so that the little people can pet the little horses, and that makes a lot of difference to kids. They really enjoy it. I mean, everybody is involved. I mean, the Border Patrol's coming with their horses and dogs and all that kind of stuff. And so it's a community event, and all the stuff that Mark talks about is the same thing that we're talking about here. This is something we put together. Everybody's got to cooperate. Same thing about the fire that happened over there on the Baba Comrie. Everybody needs to get together to make everything happen, and that's what we're after.
I look forward to the alpacas every year. I mean, how often do you get to see an alpaca?
Not often. I agree. And the thing is, their lips are so soft and so tender. They'll just nibble on your fingers, and they're really cool. They'll kiss you, too, if you'd like a kiss.
They'll spit on you, too.
No, they don't spit on you. That's camels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's right. That's camels.
Okay.
And B Troop's going to be there, which is always a nice highlight.
Oh, B Troop is awesome.
Yeah, they're very
absolutely.
good. So the list, like you said, there's a lot of people that are going to be there, and everybody on this list loves animals, has animals, and wants you to share in their animals.
Absolutely. And there's all kinds of people that it's like a network that gets to have new influx every year, and that's why we do it every year, is because these people, like on the front of their flyer, it's like they got these two girls from animal control with a freaking snake around their shoulders. It's like, I'm not real happy about that, but they love it, So I mean, it's everybody has their own. There's all kinds of stuff.
And this is free and open to the public as well, and it's tomorrow at the park. And you can also see, like there's raffles, there's petting zoos, reptiles, demonstrations. This is just a day full of animals.
It's fun, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and we cut back the time this year because it was not people didn't want to go that long, and I said, no, you can't do that. You're cutting people's lunch down. That's when people come, and we went round and round. And so this year we're trying it this year to see how it turns out. And Grady, you remember when I got you up on that wagon, and when we were doing that, I used to do that. I lost one of my mares, and so I don't have a team to go do that. But we're going to put it together again in the future.
I really enjoyed driving the team on that cart. That was a lot of fun. Thank you for that experience.
Absolutely, and that's what Horsing Around does. We try to help everybody do as many things as we can to help the community, and then we got the community support that is just awesome.
And some of the things that people don't maybe understand, there is one, I just looked at your list. There is Scooby-Doo Pet Waste Removal Services. Now, see, you have all these animals, and you have to do it from A to Z, and with the P in the middle. So just take a look at that, because I think it's important that people know that is a service.
Absolutely.
And it's invaluable. I don't know how many times that, you don't want to go clean up the mess.
You should see what horses do. You think, a little dog.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, so we have manure cleaning up times at the rescue.
So tell us a little bit about the tax sale that's coming up.
This is our fifth time, I think it is, of our tax sale. When people lose their horses or lose the husband dies and the wife gets rid of the horse and stuff like that, a lot of times they donate stuff to us, and it's tax stuff, rent stuff, sometimes water troughs. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff they donate. Anyway, we had too much of it. We couldn't use it all. And so we thought, well, let's turn around and sell it real inexpensively. Most of the stuff is priced way under what you could buy a new one for. And last year we had 57 saddles, Western saddles, and we got high-end saddles. We got some 2 brand new saddles this year that are just the most beautiful saddles I've ever seen. I wouldn't put them on a horse and ride on them, but that's me. It's like that needs to sit in some corner of your house or garage or a museum or something. They're really beautiful saddles, and there's a bunch of English saddles, English tack, blankets, anything you can think of about tack, it's there. And so,
for the city slickers, what is tack?
What is what?
Tack.
Tack. Oh, that's the stuff you put on a horse. Grady, listen to you. What is tack?
I'm just saying for the city slickers. Yeah. I know what it is, but there's people that listen and go, what is a tack sale?
Oh, a tack sale. It's the stuff that you use on a horse, from reins and blankets, saddles, stirrups, boots, for horses, all kinds of stuff.
And this all helps the Horsing Around rescue, which is what you. Yeah.
This turns stuff that people donate to us back into money we can use to buy hay and things like that is getting really, really expensive.
Well, remind us what Horsing Around Rescue does as well.
Horsing Around Rescue gets horses that are in compromising positions. We get some through the Sheriff's Department. We get some through other law enforcement. We get some from people that the husband dies and the wife can't turn around and take care of the animal, or the wife has got to move. And we take those horses, we rehab them, depending on what their conditions are. Some of them are pretty poor. Some of them are others that are just, like we got some the other day that were too fat, so we had to put them back down. Well, these people were 84 and 86 years old. The husband had cancer, and the wife says, I can't do taking care of her husband and the horses and this. And so that's what we do. We don't like getting that position, but we help people because that's our world. That's what we do.
So when and where is your tax sale?
The tax sale is at 7484 East Highway 92 at Horse and Round Rescue's main department, which is at the Single Star Ranch. It's on 92, 1 mile east of Coronado Memorial Road, and it's from 9 to 1.
All right, and if people have TAC, they can still donate that to
Absolutely,
you as well.
up to Friday. We don't want to do any more past Thursday or Friday because
Gotcha.
we got to, a lot of it we clean up, a lot of it we go through and put it away. If it's too late, we'll put it away and use it for the next sale, which is in November.
Okay, well, go ahead and invite us to Celebrating Animals tomorrow one more time.
All right. Celebrating Animals is Saturday, April 27th, tomorrow. It's from 9 to 1. It's at Veterans Park. It is every kind of animal you can think of just about that show up in this country, and we'd love to have all of you come out. Horse and Round will be there with some mini horses, and there'll be all kinds of other people with the stuff. And maybe you're going to come, Grady. You going to come?
I'll be there.
All right. And Carol?
We'll see.
Yeah. You slip out on us all the time.
All right, Steve, thanks for coming and talking to us.
Thank you guys
today.
very, very much.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Corporal Scott Borgstadt from Sierra Vista Police.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And I'm Grady Butler. With me is Carol Kappas, and our next guest is with the Sierra Vista Police Department, Mr. Scott Borgstadt. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. I saw you yesterday at the Police Academy.
Yeah. Yesterday was scenario day. Always a fun time to go over and help the new recruits out, process through different scenarios and stuff.
You play a scary bad guy, just saying. He was a bad guy yesterday, threatening people with rocks, and you were scary.
You got to get into character a little bit and have some fun with it. But, we got to make sure, these guys go through 26 weeks of training and stuff, and, scenarios are a good way of, seeing if they've been able to retain all that information, because they get a lot of information in that time frame. And it was good. Everybody passed the scenario that I was part of, so that was good. And they made the arrests when they should have, and I got searched a lot though.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, but it was fun. It's always fun doing that.
Did anybody miss anything when they were doing the search?
No, because that's not part of the scenario, So I made sure I didn't have anything else on me. Because they get into the pockets and pull everything out, because of course it's drilled into them about searching and all that. But it was very thorough. 20-some different searches and stuff. So, but we got a fun thing coming up tomorrow. It's a VIN-etch, vehicle identification number, etching on your windows of your vehicles. This is sponsored by the Sierra Vista Police Department and the Citizens Police Academy Associates. We'll be over at the mall, on the east side of the mall. If you come off of like Highway 92, that little road by Wells Fargo, you'll see the great big Sierra Vista Police Department command vehicle parked there, and folks can drive through, and we will etch your vehicle identification number on all of your windows, which helps vehicle theft, basically. Windows are one of the most popular things for chop shops to take and sell, and anybody that doesn't have glass coverage on their vehicle knows how expensive windows can get. So we etch the VIN on that, and that's one of the things that these thieves that are looking to take your vehicle and chop it up look for, and if it has that on there, they don't want anything to do with it.
And
How much does it cost to get a VIN-etch?
Well, it actually costs nothing. It is a free event, and but the Citizens Police Academy Associates, they will take donations. We do have to cover the cost of the materials to do that, and continue some of the other programs that they do. But technically it's free, but we will accept donations.
And so people understand, it's not like you have this big old number across your glass, right?
No.
It's teeny tiny.
Yeah, it's probably 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches long, but it's at the very lower part of your window, and it's not visible from any distance. You'd have to get up, to relatively close to see it.
All right, we'll invite everybody out to the event tomorrow one more time.
Sure. It's Vinetch at the mall in Sierra Vista. Pull in right there, that little road that comes off of Highway 92 next to Wells Fargo. See the great big command vehicle, and it's from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Well, Corporal Borkstadt, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you. Have a good day.
And thank you. And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have Captain Heather Bays from the Salvation Army.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
Giving you an inside look to your sheriff's office. Let's go back to First Watch on KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler. I'm with Carol Kappas and our next guest.
Welcome back, Cochise County, and thank you so much for being here, Heather. So tell us a little bit about what's going on.
Thank you for having me. So we are at the Salvation Army today and tomorrow having our annual yard sale. And all the proceeds, all money that's made here will be staying here for the community. It's funny because last year was going to be our last yard sale, and I'd promised my volunteers that no, we will not have another yard sale, I promise. And then my boss messaged back and said, this is a great fundraiser, you should do it quarterly. And I was like, oh, that's not gonna happen. But we ended up, we all agreed that we would do it, annually. And so we are doing it annually. It's going to be at 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock today. And we have furniture, we have tools, we have vacuums, we have brand new lights, we have we have plants, we have pictures, we have everything you can think of. And then we also have lots of clothes. And what we're doing with the clothes is they're $1 a piece. Or we give them a plastic bag and say, stuff it as much as you can for $5.
You're talking about the clothes in the bag. Yes, got it.
Yes. And then shoes, shoes are like $2 to $3 unless they're brand new. And everything is priced to sell, not to sale.
Gotcha. And this is a great fundraiser for the Salvation Army. Tell us a little bit about your programs.
So we have, at the Salvation Army, we do a community meal from Monday through Friday from 11:30 to 12:30. We do get assistance from different organizations and churches. And we also have heat relief, which is coming up, which I'll be coming and seeing Carol up at the Sheriff's Department. And we have family night. We'll be having bingo night next month. And of course, first and foremost, we are a church, so we have our Sunday services, and we have Bible studies and women's ministries and men's ministries all throughout the week. And so if you're interested in any of that or want to just come and check out what our beliefs are, we would love to share with you. So we are having this fabulous giant yard sale today and tomorrow. So join us for some fun, great deals. We have everything from salt shakers to lamps to brand new shoes and clothes. We've got household items, pet items, holiday items, personal items, you name it. While this is a fundraiser for the Salvation Army, it is also an opportunity for our friends here in the West End to find some quality bargains. This is a community event. It benefits all of us. The money the Salvation Army raises goes to continue and even grow some of our programs such as game night, craft night, and we always have dinner with at these two events. It also helps our daily food pantry and goes towards any other programs. We are also selling hot dogs and popcorn to help our men's ministries and women's ministries. That'll be 2 hot dogs, a bag of chips, and a bottle of water for $5, and a bag of popcorn for $1.
Sounds like it's going to be a good time. So that's happening today and tomorrow. Remind us where you're located.
We are located at 180 Wilcox on the West End. And if you have any problems trying to find us, we're by the Cox Communications building and across from the Empire. And our phone number is 520-459-8411.
All right. Well, thanks for coming and talking to us today. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you for having me.
And Carol, how do they get a hold of us at the Sheriff's Office?
Reach out by giving us a call, 520-432-9500, or check out our social media sites at Cochise County Sheriff's Office, Sheriff Mark J. Daniels. That's our Facebook page. It'll have links to our Instagram and our X account. And if you need anything else, go to our webpage at cochise.az.gov/sheriff.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. Keep up to date. Follow the Cochise County Sheriff's Office on Facebook and tune in next Friday, 7 a.m. for First